Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my Orilium Spring Equinox TBR. If you're unfamiliar with the Orilium Magical Readathon, I will link G from Book Roast in the description box. The more I do this readathon, it's like built upon each other. We created a character, we're going to school, we're getting levels and different things. I just keep envisioning, like, I wish this was like an interactive, like online platform of some sort. I don't know, that would be such an undertaking and so much money. I don't actually expect Book Roast to be able to do that, but I just would love like the visual and the interactive. I know people have like full reading journals dedicated to Orilium, and maybe I'll have to look up some of those because I feel like my bits and bobs are just spread across different notebooks and it's hard to keep track of like my perfect character. But my character has been after the Master of Elements calling, and that is what I've been focused on for the last couple of years since it switched to Orilium. I did not participate in Lightfall and I haven't kept up with the year-long ones, but I do have all those prompts written down and will be trying to catch up and just read some books for those as well. But in April, I'm focusing on my spring classes and I'm so excited for it. I have already done my Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos for April. I will link that up in the cards. I'm hoping to fit quite a few of those books onto my Orilium TBR so that my TBR just doesn't keep growing bigger and bigger. I am getting sick, so I'm filming quite a lot today so that I have some content, so please excuse my voice. If you're new here, I ramble a lot. Hello, my name is Emily. This is MacInnis Mama, where you'll find mostly bookish content. If that is something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Let's hop into the classes I need to complete, plus the extra bits. Let's see what I plan on reading in the month of April. So as I mentioned, I'm going for Master of Elements. That is the calling that fits my character I built the best, in my opinion. I was also kind of looking at Alchemy, which is one of the hardest ones, I believe, just because I finished reading Manacled. But I think that's too much for me, especially when we get into the autumn equinox. So I'm going to stick with the calling I have been working towards. I believe this is the 3rd year, so I'll be like my level 3 of this, whatever. See, I don't have like all of the lingo, you know? Anyways, the first class I need is Elemental Studies, and for this I need to read a book with a source of light on the cover, and for that I will be reading Peter Pan, the children's classic by J.M. Barrie. There is stars on this cover, and stars are a source of light, right? And this is going to be in a reading vlog coming up. It's a buddy read with my bookish bestie Sam, and it is on my Roll the Dice TBR. So this needs to be read, this will be getting read in April regardless, and I'm happy to fit it in for this prompt. Hi buddy. Next, for shape-shifting, the prompt is to read a book by an author who blurbed your last 5-star read, which at first I was like, oh god, that is going to be complicated. As of when I'm filming this, my last 5-star read was Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. This was so good. I'll talk about it more in my March wrap up. And the authors who have blurbed this were Hannah Witten, who is the author of For the Wolf, Lyndall Clipstone, who's the author of Lake's Edge, and Allison Saft, who is the author of A Far Wilder Magic. And I didn't really put 2 and 2 together, but those 3 authors write similar books. And I guess that makes sense, but I guess I've never really considered like what authors are blurbing books, but obviously it would be authors in the same genre, right? So I've never heard of Lyndall Clipstone before, but I looked up Lake's Edge on Goodreads and it sounds so good if you like this kind of book. But I do have Hannah Witten on my shelf. I actually have 2 of her books, but because I loved this duology so much, I'm choosing For the Wolf, and I'm so excited to read this. This looks like a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, but I think it's actually more of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It says the first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. And it says a brilliant dark fantasy debut, and I believe this is a duology as well. So I'm hoping that because I loved the Shepherd King duology, I will also like the Wilder Wood. I believe this is a duology. I'm so excited for this one. For animal studies, I need to read a book with a yellow title. This is a bit tricky for me based on like what I actually have on my physical TBR. I have a ton of books with like a gold title, but I didn't think that that really counted. And then I stumbled across The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen, another book that has been on my TBR for well over 5 years. Absolutely crazy. I need to read this, and the letters, the title is very much yellow. Also, the back is like obnoxiously yellow. And this is a psychological thriller in the vein of Gone Girl and The Girl on the Train. Well, I loved Gone Girl, give it 5 stars, and I hated The Girl on the Train and gave that one 2 stars. So I don't know if I'm gonna love this, but it's the only book I could find on my shelf that had a yellow cover. I did not look at like literally every single book on my shelf, but this is what I'm choosing. Next, for the prompt astronomy, I need to read a zodiac recommendation. At first I was a little like, I don't know what to pick, but an account I follow on Bookstagram, for 2 months she did a book recommendation for your zodiac sign based on the current zodiac season. So this is the Aquarius recommendation for Aquarius season. She didn't post one for the next season, which I don't even know what that is. Is it Pisces? I have no idea. So anyway, the recommendation I had, there's 3. I chose Hollow by Karina Halley, which is on Kindle Unlimited, another dark fantasy romancy kind of book, which even though we are into spring, I have been loving this kind of romantasy. So hopefully I love this. Karina Halley hasn't been a hit for me yet, but she has so many different series and like different tropes and styles of books that I'm willing to give her a couple more chances, if you know what I mean. For conjuration, I needed to use a color wheel, and this is actually a prompt I had on my Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos for the month, so I just kept the same roll, the same spin, and I got lime green. I'm going to put in the same book, which is Big Little Lies. This has lime green in the lollipop that is smashed here, and this is a funny, like a comical thriller, I think. So I'm actually looking forward to this. I know it's a hit show on HBO. I've never watched it before, but I'm interested in watching the adaptation, and this again has been on my shelf actually exactly as long as this book, because I bought these at a yard sale from the same person who stuck these obnoxious stickers on, and they won't come off without leaving behind a ton of adhesive, which I hate. For the class restoration, I need to read a book I think would be a cure for a reading slump. And for that, I'm putting in The Vicious Lost Boys by Nikki St. Crow. I'm filming this a little bit early, so I'm currently reading the 2nd book in this series, the dark one, on my Kindle. These are under or around 200-page dark fantasy romance, Peter Pan, Why Choose? I'm having a really fun time with these. Again, it's that dark fantasy romance that I'm just like really into right now for some reason. And this will be finished probably tomorrow, but I would love to then pick up the 3rd book in April and just kind of like, I'm not really like binging the series straight through, but maybe I can finish the series in April or at least read another book in April. And these are so fast and so fun that I definitely think they're a reading slump cure. I have 2 extra classes that are not required for me, but the prompts seemed really easy enough that I could like get the class, and then if for some reason I don't get one of my required reads that I've just listed, then maybe I can kind of like finagle my classes around for a new calling going into the autumn equinox just in case. So for the class Alchemy, I need to read a book with a circle on the cover, and for that I'm choosing Spy X Family Volume 4, which I do have again on my Roll the Dice TBR. It has a circle chair. And this is a super fast read and one that I really want to get to continue this series. I'm stumbling over my words. So I'm going to read this in April anyway, so I might as well say that this is for my alchemy class. And then for the lore class, we need to read The Legend of Dia, I'm not really sure. And this is a story that is in the Google Drive for Orilium. I don't know how many pages it is, but it seemed like a quick enough read to knock out and then get this class. Now there are supplemental things that we can do for this semester at Orilium. There are 3 things that just kind of caught my attention, and these are not going to be my focus, but like if I complete part of it and we're nearing the end of the month, maybe I can just get it. So you can get a dragon riding license, and for that you need to read 2 books with dragons and watch a movie or show with a dragon. Iron Flame is on my list for April. And then I would need to read something else with dragons. I don't know if anything else I'm planning to read in April as of right now has dragons, but I do know that my oldest son has a graphic novel series that has dragons in it, and again that would be a really quick read. I could toss in at the very end of the month and then just like get my dragon riding license for my character. That could just be fun. There's also there's 2 job opportunities, like student jobs. The first is apothecary keeper, which I think myself / my character would really love, and this is read 2 books with plants on the cover and then photograph 5 different flowers, and I think that would be really easy to do. Again, with everything I'm looking at, these have to be books that I haven't already listed, which I have here beside me, but the other books I have on my April TBR, I'm sure 2 of them will have flowers on the cover. So again, I think this would just be something easy I could just get for my character. And then one is a bit easier, but I don't know. This is Bog Cataloger. Read a book by the water or has a body of water on the cover and watch an animal documentary. Again, I think that'd be pretty easy to do in the month. So if I read a book outside of my required reads that just happens to have water on the cover, and I could just watch an animal documentary with my children and then get this thing for my character. It's a little complicated, but it's honestly so much fun that I just wish that I personally was like tracking my character's life through Orilium a bit better, and I don't know how to correct that. I have like all of my things in notebooks, like I mentioned earlier, written down in various places, but I don't know how to compile that in a nice way. So let me know if you have any ideas. That is quite a lot of reading plans for the month of April. This is my stack of physical reads I have with me right now, plus all of the ones on my Roll the Dice TBR, plus the reading vlogs I have planned and my buddy reads. Basically, it's going to be a super fun, super busy reading month, and I just can't wait. Let me know in the comments below if you are participating in Orilium Spring Equinox. What calling are you going for? I just think this readathon is so much fun, and I'm so thankful for all of the work that G puts into it. I just know there's gonna be so much work putting like together the documents, the stories, the ideas. Like, she does such a wonderful job.